Hey everybody, welcome into the channel. I'm Kim Corallo. Shut the Front Door 2 is our page, and we are a wreath, door hanger, and gifts business. This page is dedicated mostly so far, because we are new, to our vintage finds, things that we have found thrifting. We'll show you what we found, and we will tell you most likely where they're going to be, because we do have a couple of booth spaces, 3 actually. Also have a hair salon that we sell in there. We have an Etsy store, a website that I don't even know why I ever say, because we don't put anything on there. And we are also a seller on a newer platform. We have been approved for live selling, and we will be doing that, but we haven't done it yet. Knickknacks, knickknacks.net. That is owned by Crazy Lamp Lady, and it's inside a platform called District. Okay, so those are all the places you can find us. We do Instagram, and we also do Facebook. And if you're watching this, thank you for being here. And let's get started, because I have a literal boatload of goodness. And if you're watching it, that means you probably like vintage, so you're probably gonna think it's goodness as well. I'm surrounded by it, you guys, just everywhere. Let's just get started. Let's get started with this. I picked this up because I was just attracted to it. The color red is not something, I do use red some in my own home. I like it, but it's not really something that I would consider, you know, a very popular color right now, but I just thought this was so unusual and so neat, and I did look it up to find out even what it is. It's wood, and it's Asian. It's an Asian wedding box is what it is, and I just thought that motif under there was interesting. It did have a couple of places that normally damaged things I don't pick up, but these places didn't bother me that much because they're just on the side, on both sides, and I just thought, I didn't feel like that was a no-go, only because it's not really noticeable, and the person buying this, I don't think is going to be that concerned with something that's not real visible. The lid does come off. It's a little tricky to get off. It's not, I think it's just the way it's designed, but it doesn't come off. Actually, it does, because I did take it off. Anyway, I'm not gonna take the lid off. The inside is just a lot the same as the outside. Won't be putting this online just because of the handle, and handles can be fragile in shipping, and I'm not willing to take a chance on that thing popping off. So that'll be a booth piece, but let's go on to the next thing. Brass is something that I don't hardly ever pass it up, and it really hardly matters what it is, because it just seems to be something that people are loving right now. And this is a brass trivet, and I even loved this because I can see it used obviously as its intended purpose, but I think it would be super great as a plant stand. The little feet on it are not that tall, but I think it would be really sweet with a plant on top of it. Can also see it on a shelf, just kind of leaning on the back side of the shelf, and then more stuff on the front just as a decor piece, almost like a decorative plate or something. Let's see. I was so excited to find this. This is cut crystal, and I don't find a lot of cut glass or cut crystal, but when I do, I don't hardly pass it up. This is a biscuit jar. It has a probably silver plate, but I do need to do a little bit more research because these are pretty old, and this could be sterling. However, I was really disappointed because I think I was so excited that when I found this, it just went into the cart, and I don't think I even looked it over. There is a chip on the bottom here. It's easy to miss chips when you are looking at clear glass or crystal. always make sure you fill the edges, not only of the bottom, but of the rims of things. Chips, if you're buying it for yourself, it may not be a game changer, but let me tell you, when you are trying to resell things, it does change the value, and it also, for a real collector, could be a no-go. So always check that out. So this is going to go in the booth because of that. It's just easier. I can put on there as found. People will look at it and they will figure out that, oh, there's that chip there. People online, I'm convinced, don't read listings, and I just don't want to send something out that they could maybe get and be disappointed with. This would work great in a bathroom filled with bath salts, then a little scoop on the inside. It would also be super great just filled up with like cotton balls or something like that. Let's see here, just put that there. This has metal, some enamel wear on it. It's actually a letter holder, and you would probably pass this up, but the reason why I don't, desk sets do super great. It doesn't matter where I put them. If I put them in the booth, if I put them online, they do really well. I don't know, maybe they don't make this kind of thing anymore. I haven't really done a lot of research. This is likely going to go online, probably because of the size. It would be very easy to ship, probably online. Guys, I will tell you this, if there's something that you see in any of our videos, reach out to us if it's something you would really like more information on, because at this point, none of this stuff is listed. It's obviously not priced to go to the booths either. If it's something you're interested in, we can talk the details out, because I know that when I'm watching videos and I see things that people are saying, oh, this is going to go into the booth, sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, but hey, I get it, because I have to fill those booths up. But if you're not local, we would just like to open up that the option to ship is there. There are exceptions where I'm just not willing to ship, and that is because of the sheer fragileness of it. This red wedding box, the wood is probably fine, but handles like this can snap easy. So I would probably say no to that, but most of the time it can be shipped. It's just making people aware of the cost of that. Okay, I did not take all this tape off. They had this taped up pretty good. And one thing I will tell you, most of this stuff came from an estate sale. Not all of it, but most of it came from an estate sale. So most of this I got at one shopping experience, which is really good. It's etched brass. It's a pedestal type bowl, not a huge pedestal on the bottom. But the reason why they taped it is it has a brass flower frog in there. I have never seen anything like this. I did not do any research on it, but honestly, once this is cleaned up, the bowl itself is just going to be gorgeous. I love a flower frog. It makes flower arranging so easy, and I think that's a real find. Could be wrong, but I think it's a real find. Baskets are something also that I pick up when they're well made and unusual. This is actually called a buttocks basket, and so it's well made. There are no condition issues, just a little vintage dust in there, but hey, a little vintage dust never hurt anybody, and I don't charge extra for that. How's that? Okay, so this is just something that I didn't want to pass up. I'm in pretty good shape with baskets right now, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. Flower pots this time of the year are really, really good. I will be putting the flower pots into the booth. They're both pretty heavy, and they're old-ish, but they're not super old. So I think that going into the booth is great. Clay pots right now are having a moment for me. People love them. I do too. I use them a lot. This one has the drip plate already attached to it. I'm not sure that it's super old, But the reason why I picked it up is I think this white stuff on clay pots, I think that is actually iron deposits, and I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And that, when they're like that with iron deposits, they're more desirable in our area. People love them. So this was sort of a no-brainer. I just knew that there would be someone out there that would want this, and it'll go into the booth space. This is another one that I think will be super desirable. And I actually think I've shown this one before because I didn't pick it up this week, but I had it sitting with this stuff. So I thought, just in case I missed it, in case I didn't show you guys, I just wanted to show you because it's just super cute with the bunnies. And honestly, I just really love it. So if it's getting shown twice, then that's just a bonus for this little cutie because I think it deserves to be shown twice. Let me show you this super awesome thing. It is signed on the bottom. I think it says Smith. It's a pottery cookie jar that still had its cork, and the cork's in really, really good shape. Could you hear that echo? I really love pottery, studio pottery anyway, but this was just really good with those colors. I could see that this could just, it's almost neutral with that green and the blue and then that creamy white. So I can see it in nearly any kitchen, but it's just a really good piece. Didn't want to leave that behind. Pictures have always been something that I really love. And this is a bicentennial 76 picture that, I didn't do any research on, but with the 4th of July coming up, now this video will probably likely post after the 4th of July, but I really thought this was really something that for this time of the year was kind of special, but just in general, kind of special collector's series, and pictures do really good for us. But I also found, this is in the last video, the glasses, I think. I don't know when I showed these, but anyway, I was lucky enough to find 12 of these Libby glasses. And so I thought I would put 4 with it. I'll sell the glasses separately, but I thought I would put 4 with it. And I think that'll make a really good display within the booth of 4th of July without it being too, holiday-ish. Holiday items, for me, I just kind of like to add in like blues and reds and whites for the holiday as opposed to full-on 4th of July type of stuff. But the time that I changed that rule on holiday items are Halloween and Christmas, and then it's just, I go all out with the pumpkins or anything that I can find because people really do like those 2 holidays. Okay, let's talk a little bit about mugs. You will see me show a lot of mugs. These are red clay and they're handmade. They are signed. However, I can't read that, and I don't know that I'll ever be able to make it out. I love a mug as long as I can fit at least 2 fingers in, but 3 fingers, it's even better. So that's what I look for in mugs. And I go for pottery type mugs, handmade type things, because if you go to art fairs, you will realize really quickly what these types of things cost. So when I can find them at a place that I can resell them, it's giving everybody a chance to have them at a little bit of a discount. However, shipping on mugs is quite expensive. You wouldn't think so for something so little, so you'll hardly ever see me post any mugs online for sale. They usually go into the booth. The reason for that is oftentimes the shipping costs as much as the mug. Now, there are exceptions to that. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to find face mugs, and I will oftentimes put those online. But other than that, Most of the time, I'm sorry, they're going into the booth because of the shipping costs only. This is just a really, really old bowl. These come in sets. This is a berry bowl more than likely, but I just really like that neutral color on it. It was still in good condition. I don't pass up these older bowls regardless of the size, as long as they're in good condition, because they're very desirable. There are collectors out there, people that, you know, don't collect anything else but those kinds of things. The bigger sizes, you know, are obviously more desirable, but those are good. Shot glasses are another thing I usually pass up all day, every day. I found 3 of these little etched hand-blown shot glasses with the handles, and I didn't pass them up. And I just thought they were so cute, but they also still had their sticker on them where it told us that they were made in Turkey. So I just thought with that extra piece of information, they're just really cute. And I would have loved to have found a set of 6 or a set of 4 or 6, but you know, I picked up the 3, and I think these will definitely be online because I think it's a broader market for online. Wooden bowls are also something that are just a real good hit around here. This is a little primitive looking. The underside has more of a raw edge, and then this side has more, I don't even know what you would call it, a finished edge. I don't know, because I don't make wooden bowls, so I don't know how they do that, but I thought it was a really nice looking piece, a really great size, and I think I'll stick this one into the booth. And actually, you know, just to make it easier, you can always go to the Etsy shop and look to see if any of this is online. If you don't see it there, you can always reach out to us. But just to make it easier, maybe I'll stop saying where I think I'll put it, because honestly, I just shopped. I just got all this stuff this past weekend. Haven't really done research, haven't really cleaned anything up. So it's just probably better to say that I don't know where it's going to end up yet. How's that? Art. Art is one of my very favorite things, but this is a print, and I will typically always leave behind prints. The best art for me are oils, watercolors, probably even in this order. Mixed media is good, but when they're prints, if they're super old and really moody, oftentimes I just can't pass them up. I like to just hope that I can find a home for them. But the reason why I picked this up is because we live in Lexington, Kentucky, and anything duck related sells. And I think that's because we're really close to lakes, and I think people use this kind of thing not only in their own homes but also in their lake homes. This is matted and framed, and it's very well done, professionally well done. It is signed and numbered, and it is Sherry Russell is the artist. And the reason why I picked it up is because on the back it had the certificate of authenticity, and say that 3 times. And I just think when you find a little bit of information like this, it just boosts it up a little bit. I think that it makes it a little bit more desirable, and it says that the printing plates for this edition have been destroyed by the printing company. So I need to do some research. Some of you all probably already know this, but I am thinking then the reason why things are signed and numbered, that possibly after that 400th print is sold, then that's when there will be no more. Now, 400 of these sounds like a lot, right? However, that's 400 in the entire world. That's not that many. So that's the reason why I picked that print up. This is a watercolor. I cannot make out the artist's signature. It was done in 65. It is professionally framed. I really like the frame. The matting is super great as well. That neutral color, and just with that, it's almost gray. Well, it is kind of that gray, black and white. Just neutral will go with anything. It also has the best glass, which is that matte glass. I love that glass. It doesn't show all the glares, and it's really, really beautiful. This is going to probably, it's a great size, it can be shipped. It's probably going to be loved by me for a minute, just because I can't get past how awesome that it truly is. This is an odd piece that I may have picked up or may have passed up if I hadn't have just been in, I don't know, I was in an art mood. But this piece, it's really old. It just has, a wooden frame. It is carved around the edge, so the frame alone is great. The matting is just some type of a cardboard matting, kind of brown. There are some spots on it, but it's not horrible. And then this is just a wood horse motif. I don't know what this is. If you know, let me know in the comments. That has just been put on this board and framed. But living in the state of Kentucky, horses are always a big win. And I just thought, you know what? It is not something that probably everyone will love, but I thought it was pretty cool and unique and different. And let me just tell you, unique and different for me, that is why I like vintage and antiques. And that doesn't mean I won't shop at Kirkland's or a Hobby Lobby, because I do. But I have always been drawn to things that are a little bit odd and a little bit different, and things that you are likely to never see in anyone else's home. And if you like to decorate with horse-related things, this fits that. It fits that, and it's a good conversation piece. It's also a great size because it would fit in a gallery wall, it will fit on a shelf, and it can stand alone on a wall by itself as well. Let's go ahead and just show you two more pieces of art. Now these pieces are watercolors as well. I'm sure these came from the same place, but the frames are a little bit different. I will probably do a little bit of work on the frames, they haven't been cleaned up. Can you see more vintage dust? They have the matte glass as well. They're really pretty, simple. Size is perfect. We'll sell them separate because they are from the same artist, but they are framed differently. We'll clean up the glass and the frames, probably touch this one up a little bit. These size pieces of art are always the things that go the fastest for me. And that is because they can go literally anywhere, even on just a little easel. So those were a no-brainer for me. Had to pick those up. Let me just go ahead and show you. This is a hand-painted Tashihaki, Japan. I think I'm saying that correct. Teapot. Teapots are, teapots are there are collectors out there. That's what I'm trying to say. And I have always thought that, some teapots are cute. This one, I was just drawn to it, and I think the reason why is because the size is good. It's not, super big. It's in good condition, but it sort of has that Majolica style to it, which I think fits a whole other demographic, and I really thought it was cute. So it made a place in my cart, and hopefully will make a place in somebody's home. Look at this sweet little thing. This is a little bunny cotton ball holder. I didn't really have a cotton ball, so I took a bandage and tore this off. So, you know, a cotton ball will look much cuter. You fill the cotton, you fill the bunny up with cotton here with the stopper, and then you pull your cotton out by pulling it out of its little tail. So again, I had to make the cotton so that I could show you. Real cotton balls would look better. But, you know, if you like cotton balls and you use cotton balls, why not have something cute to put them in, right? So that's why that little bunny came with me. Plus, I'm kind of a sucker for anything bunny. This is made in Italy. It is a enamel over copper. I know it's Italy because it tells me on the back. I love it when they make my job easier. But I do really love enamel over copper bowls. Enamel over copper, anything. Actually, my favorite piece of this whole haul is also cloisonne enamel ware piece. And I'm telling you, really, really beautiful. The colors on this were really good. The size is really good. Thrilled, thrilled, thrilled to have found that. Now let's see. Also, I will tell you that if you like enamel ware, enamel over copper things, or brass things, because sometimes it is brass, that enamel will break. So you do have to be pretty careful with it. Brass, I'm telling you, is just always something that I just don't pass it up anymore. This has a little pedestal on it. It's super cute. The colors in here, and I don't think this is enamel in here. I actually think that is painted. I could be wrong, but this is super cute, and this probably will be left just as is, just as found. The some brass I'm finding I'm having to clean up. It's seen better days, but I really think this is cute. Now, all of these pieces that I'm getting ready to show you all came from the same estate, so I felt really good that I found some good things. This is just really old, and you know, any of this Asian type of dish I'm drawn to, but I think without doing any research, I just think it is super old. I thought the colors on it were really good, and I thought it would just make a really great little trinket dish to catch keys on an entryway. So I didn't pass it up. I was hoping that maybe I could find a few others, but I'm not exactly sure if this would have ever been like a dish that you would have eaten out of, just simply because of the way it's made. So I think its intended purpose probably has always been, you know, more decorative than using it, but I don't know. Another pedestal brass dish. I love the cutout on this. I do think that's enamel in there, and I love the colors, the brightness of it. This one will be just sold as is. I'm telling you, this was a week of good stuff, but if I don't go ahead, you know, I thought, well, I found a lot of things and maybe I should break it up, but if I don't go ahead and get this stuff priced and moving, it tends to sit for a while, and that's what I don't want to happen. So if I'm in this, you know, going ahead showing you, I can go ahead and process it and move it to its intended places, and then everything for at least my home is better, because this stuff lands on my dining room table until it's all processed, and it takes up a lot of space. Another Asian style dish. This one is probably, I mean, it's definitely vintage. I'm not exactly sure the age of it. I don't know the stamps that well, but but I loved the colors on it. And this one's even a little bit bigger and another great size for, not quite big enough for a fruit bowl, but it would be really good to put like maybe a couple of brass balls in, or if you have some of those carpet balls, that would look really good with several stacked in there. So this is a good size for that. All of this stuff needs to be cleaned up. So this is brass, and then this is a porcelain bowl. So this is cased porcelain with brass, and I don't typically pass these up because I personally think they're great. This brass needs to be shined up. It's not perfect. There are some dents, but to me, that's just character and not something that I would pass up, but I love the colors on this. A little bit more subdued, quite a bit of green in there. I was really thrilled to find that. And then this piece is iron, and it's very heavy, and I think it's probably intended to be outside to hold a flower pot. It's really dirty, so I would guess that this was outside at one point, but I think that if you like this color and you like elephants, trunks up for good luck, I think it would be a great fruit bowl in a kitchen, and on an island in a kitchen. Great conversation piece, unexpected, and big enough to hold some fruit, and that's exactly where I would use it if it were mine. Let's see. Oh, some more brass. This was a good find. They do need to be cleaned up, but a little mama and baby giraffe set. I will sell these as a set, and I'm gonna go, I just said that I was gonna stop saying where the pieces were going because I hadn't decided, but both of these pieces will be sold together as a set on the Etsy store. They will be cleaned up, so they will be shined up. The baby's not too bad, but the mama, she's a little older, you know, she needs a little bath. Glass cruets aren't something I pick up that often, but this one, the price was right. It wasn't very expensive. I loved the little handle on it, but mostly I love the little squatty bottom. I just thought it was super cute, and it is hand blown, and I just think that it would be super cute just on a shelf in a kitchen. Of course you can use it, but I just think for decor pieces, and glass and crystal do not scare me away because a lot of people will say, you know, they don't really like it, but for me, I love it. It goes with anything, and you'll hear me say it over and over again. You'll also hear me say over and over again that Italian pottery, Italian glass, Italian anything. I am a fan. This is an Italian plate. I don't pick up a lot of decorative plates. There are exceptions to every rule, and there is an exception when it is an Italian plate, and especially an Italian plate that is hand painted with mushrooms in good condition. There is your stamp. So I will pick these up nearly all the time. I guess the exception for that might be is if I do have quite a few in stock. I need to take a minute here and get a little bit of water. I'm actually trying to get sick, and I'm trying to also will myself to not get sick, but it's happening. You guys, another piece of pottery, another piece of Italian pottery. Look at this. It is so cute. You know, I try to come up with ways to tell you all that you could just use these pieces if they're not for the intended purpose, but that beauty just needs to be sitting on a shelf. It's great. The neutral color, I love the design on it, and it is also an Italian piece. Another piece of brass. This brass bowl needs to be shined up. I don't mind patina, and actually I prefer patina, but this one is almost, it's almost like if once I give it its bath, let's see, words are going to be hard again today. It may do it for me, but if it still has more of that kind of grimy look. I'll need to shine it up, but I loved the shape on it. It has a little tiny pedestal, so it sets up a little bit. The size is really, really good. And honestly, for me, if you had some of those blue and white carpet balls, that would look great. If not, moss balls really on its own as well. This is also a good size that could be used in the kitchen for a fruit bowl. Let's see here. We're not getting quite to the end, but we're getting closer. Studio pottery is something I don't ever pick up. This has, you know, that little mark. I don't think it's super old. And the reason why I say that is because the bottom is just so clean. But the shape on it, the drip, the colors on it were just so good. I just couldn't pass it up. And it's a really good size to really just go to any platform. And sometimes I have to think about that. I have to think about, you know, is this something that would go? Another Italian piece. This is Italian Florentine. I love this style of that they come in trays. This is obviously a bookend, and there was only one. I just couldn't not get it. It's in pretty good shape. It's not in great shape. The bottom, some of the gold gilt is wearing off, a little bit of it on the front here, but for the most part, it's good. I will tell you that from experience, usually bookends do better when you can find both pieces. This is an unusual piece. I don't find a lot of Florentine in our area. I don't usually pass it up if I find it. I found some wall sconces last week. So it's just something I'm drawn to. It does very well, especially the trays and the boxes. So I've never found the bookends. I don't know how well this will do with it just being one, but honestly, and I don't have any books here. So let's see here. Well, daggone it. I don't even have anything that can kind of give you an idea, but let's pretend that this big, huge, large plate is a book. But you could just maybe lay your books on the shelf and then put that in front of it like this. Use your imagination, guys, because, you know, that doesn't look so great. But maybe display it like that and let this be your art instead of displaying it like a bookend would be to hold a book upon a shelf. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty special, and I will be just fine if nobody else wants just the one bookend because it can stay with me. Don't feel so guilty for it to stay. So these three pieces that I'm going to show you next were all found at the same place at the same time. This was a whole different shopping experience than when I found most of the stuff at the estate sale. So trying to figure out if I can hold all of this at one time. But let me just show you, like, can you see, let me turn the grapes around. Can you see how that was just its own vibe? Not the same vendor. This was at a vendor mall, so it wasn't the same vendor, but these were the only three pieces that I got. I didn't even notice it until I got it home, and it made me giggle. And I was like, oh, wow, that's its own vibe. Maybe I was in a blue-green mode. I'm always in a green mode, but maybe a blue-green mode that day. But let's show you the pieces individually. These are glass grapes. They're hand-blown. They're really, really fun. Grapes are something that I don't pass up. If they're lucite, marble, I have sold multiple sets of marble lucite grapes. I've never had hand-blown glass grapes, but I thought they were super cool, and I was willing to give them a chance because they're green and they're awesome, and they would look really, really good stacked on a bookshelf on top of books, also in a kitchen on a shelf. Didn't want to pass those up. And then this art glass vase, and I'm not sure the maker of it. It is good glass. See this, I think this is called Submerso, and if I'm wrong, that's okay. You know, I can't know it all, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. So, but I think that's what it's called. The facets on the side, just a really clear bottom, just a super great piece of art glass. And this one is, I'll do some research and try to find, but it'll probably be listed up on Etsy as art glass. It's really heavy, so the shipping on that will be costly, but this little guy is stone. Mushrooms are things that are really popular and people really love them. Stone mushrooms are really popular. This one is in pretty good shape, I think, for the age. There are a couple of little maybe you know, little nicks here and there, but nothing major, nothing that takes away from that natural stone look. And he's super cute. I think just so cute. So I was happy to find that, because that type of thing you don't see a whole lot of in my area, mushrooms. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this piece of pottery. When I first picked this up, I think it might be a pitcher, a little creamer maybe. It is, there is signature or a stamp here. I cannot read it. I can't make it out. I could make out the date, which was 97, and I thought it was a bird, but now that I look at it, I think maybe this is supposed to be a fish. I thought it was a bird because of the tail. So, you know, it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be a fish, it could be a bird, it could be a creamer, it could be a planter, it can be whatever your heart desires, but it is definitely art pottery. I don't know that I'll ever know who the maker is, because being in Lexington, Kentucky, oftentimes I'll pick up pottery pieces like this. This was at the estate sale, and I'll pick them up because, you know, we have an art show, the Woodland Art Show, every year in August, and it brings in from all over the United States. I don't think the world, but all over the United States. It's a juried show, which just means you have to send in, you know, pictures of your work, pictures of your setup, and then they hand pick these juried artists, pottery, painters, just the list goes on and on. You know, the potters and the painters, the wood makers, those are the people that I'm drawn to in the booths that I go to, and it is high end. So sometimes when I find things like that little birdfish, I also think that maybe that's just where they came from. And I could be wrong, I could be right, I don't know, but this is another piece that I picked up. Now this is a bird, and I have picked up from this exact same maker before a pigeon, and I could never find any information on it. But the sticker on the pigeon, the original sticker had the price on it, and I'll never forget, because the original price was $65, which tells me it was a maybe higher end potter. I don't know. There is a stamp, and this one, you know, has a little price that I paid, but this is $19.98, and there is a stamp there. It's the exact same stamp, but I could never find anything, which maybe tells me that maybe they were just purchased at the Woodlands Art Fair. I don't know. That's a little bit more information that any of you all probably wanted, but it stumps me when something this great is out there and it doesn't have, you know, it doesn't have any information online. There is a little bit of a ring, a rattle to this, and that's because a little piece of the pottery from when they took it off the kiln, I don't even know. Like when they took it off, whatever they have it on, maybe the wheel broke off on the inside. So that's okay, that doesn't bother me. And then vintage jewelry, I do pick up some. I don't pick up a lot of it, but I picked this up because I thought the colors on it were great. The wings, move. I just thought it was pretty cool, but I really picked it up because I want to find out if this is Bakelite. And I don't think it probably is Bakelite, because if this is the original chain, the chain looks a little bit newer than what a Bakelite piece would be, but it does sort of have the look. It feels a little bit like maybe what Bakelite would be. The only Bakelite I've ever found were some bracelets, so I'm not real up on it. I might try to figure this out before I let it go, but if not, it might be some kind of a lucite or a plastic after. Nonetheless, it's pretty neat, and I think that there would be someone out there that would think it's pretty neat as well. And my favorite piece, and I'm gonna let you all go. Guys, we have been on, this is the longest video I've ever done. We have been on a while. I told you it was a large haul. My favorite piece, a little cloisonne enamel trinket box. It's a little turtle. It is a little perfect. The colors on it are so great. Guys, that is all we have for you today. I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing to the channel. That is the only way that we can grow, which is the only way that YouTube will push it out and make us continue to do this. So go ahead, and I found 2 more pieces. I showed you my favorite piece. It was supposed to be last. Backing on up. Let me go ahead and show you this. Wooden box, hand painted with flowers and a butterfly. I think it's great. I think this is probably 70s. This is toll painting, I think, and I don't know if I just pronounced that right. This is a desk box, and I've never had a desk box that had painting on it. I've sold a couple of desk boxes before, and people like them, but they've never had the painting on there, so we'll see, you know, if that's good. This is a really, really old print, and I told you earlier in this video I don't pick up a lot of prints, and I don't, but I picked this up because of the frame alone. Look at that inlay wood frame. Beautiful. The print is good content. People really like ships and this type of motif, so I think it does have a buyer. It's not perfect, you know. It looks like it has some places on the print where it was bent at one time. This is a signed print, but I have no idea if the print alone has any real value, but the frame does, and it's old and really good find. So I was thrilled with that, guys. Now, this is true. This is all we have for you today, and even if I find something else, I'm not even going to show you. Go have a great day, and if you like this kind of thing, consider joining our page, subscribing to our page. Give us a like, give us a follow, talk to us in the comments. We'd love to hear your input. Just talk to us, and if there is a favorite thing, let us know. Go have a great day, and we'll talk to you really, really soon.